surrender, the epitome of surrender. So all of you must be familiar with this pastime, Bali Maharaj and Vamana Deva. So, but we will be going ahead with the detailing of these pastimes, what were the qualities of Bali Maharaj, and also dealing with how Supreme Lord interacted with his devotee. So, so we will be going through the detailings of this pastime. So we'll start with the sloka. So the screen is visible now, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So we'll start with opening prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadojaya Udiraye Nashtaprayesha Vidrisho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloki Bhakshir Bhavati Nashtati Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopal Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Govindaya Namo Namaha. So I would like to seek all of your blessings so that with my limited knowledge I will convey something in line with Shastras and Srila Prabhupada's lectures and purpose. So Srimad Bhagavatam 8.19.32 Esa te sthanam aishwaryam Shriyam tejo yashashasrutam Dashyati achitya sakhraya Maya manavago hari. So any Prabhujis and Madhajis, could you please recite this sloka?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Danut Pranam. I will try, Mataji. Nishate satanam aishwaryam Shriyam tejo yasha sutam shrutam Dasyaya achitdeas sakraya maya manava gohari.
Thank you, Madhavi. Hare Krishna. Himanshu Prabhuji, could you please read the translation?
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. This person, falsely appearing as a brahmachari, is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who has come in this form to take away all your land, wealth, beauty, power, fame, and education. After taking everything from you, deliver it to Indra, your enemy. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
So Venkat Prabhuji, could you please read the purport?
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura explains in this regard that the very word Hari means one who takes away. If one connects himself with Hari, the personality, Supreme Personality of God, the Lord takes away all his miseries. And in the beginning of the Lord also superficially appears to take away all his material possessions, reputation, education, and beauty. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.88.8, Yasyaham anigraham harisya tad dhanam sanaihi. The Lord said to Maharaja Yudhishthira, the first installment of my mercy towards a devotee is that I take away all his possessions, especially his material opulence, his money. This is the special favor of the Lord towards a sincere devotee. If a sincere devotee wants Krishna, oh, everything, but at the same time, is attached to material possessions, which hinder his advancement in Krishna consciousness by tactics. One second. By tactics, brahmachari would take, tactics, the Lord takes away all his possessions. Here, Sukracharya says that this draft brahmachari would take away everything. Thus, he indicates that the Lord take away all one's material possessions and also one's mind. If one delivers his mind to the lotus feet of Krishna, Savai Manav Krishna Padara Vindeyo, one can naturally attach it to material possessions. One can naturally sacrifice
Sacrifice
everything to
everything to
satisfy
satisfy
him.
him. Hmm.
Although Bali Maharaja was a devotee, he was attached to material possession, and therefore the Lord, being very kind to him, showed him special favor by appearing as Lord Vamana to take away all his material opulence and his mind as well. Haribol.
Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So,
Thank
what
you.
been told in this purport is like, what is the hindrance for our spiritual progress? That is obviously the material possessions, reputation. So, the attachment to the material things, right? So, Lord here is giving the best mercy to Bali Maharaj, that he takes away everything material which is acting as hindrance in the path of spiritual line of Bali Maharaj. So whatever devotion we are doing, so that will not be taken away by Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna states that Neha Bikramanasosi Pratyavayo na vidyade Swalpam Abhyasya Dharmasya Vish Mahatobayat. So little, like a little advancement in the path of spiritual, then obviously, like we don't have to have any fear, right? So that, like whatever we are endeavoring in the spiritual things, then that will have an effect on our progress. So that impressions will be created, and we will start from there in the next life. So whatever materially we are possessing, that will be taken away once like we are in the death bed. So that is the main aspect. So he is bestowing, the Supreme Lord is bestowing here the best possible mercy to Bali Maharaj. So we can see how Bali Maharaj has been bestowed with the special mercy by Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Vamana Deva. So introduction. So Parishit Maharaj, he is having the conversation with Sukadeva Goswami, and he is asking, Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Personality of, like he is the Supreme Proprietor of everything, right? So in Ishopanishad itself, itself it is said, like he is the Supreme Proprietor and he is the controller of everything. Then how come he is asking for the 3 pieces of land from Bali Maharaj? Yeah, so yeah, that doesn't make any like I couldn't understand what exactly that pastime is, and why did he beg that 3 pieces of land from Bali Maharaj, and when he got the gift for which he had begged, and why did he arrest Bali Maharaj also? See, he was anxious to know like what exactly the mystery of these contradictions. So what exactly we gain by learning about these pastimes? So by learning about these pastimes, and we will get to know all these interactions of Supreme Personality of Godhead with Bali Maharaj, and also we can upgrade our consciousness, our knowledge, and we can improve our perspective related to spiritual level. So that should be our motive in discussing about these pastimes. So as usual, as we have seen in our serial also, like during every time there will be a fight between demons and demigods, right? So during one such fight between the demons and demigods, Bali Maharaj lost all his opulences, and he was utterly defeated. So Sukracharya, he was a descendant of Brigu Muni. So he actually saved Bali Maharaj, and he brought him back to life. Due to this, this deed, Bali Maharaj was very much grateful and obliged to Sukracharya, and he became the disciple of Sukracharya, and he started serving his spiritual master with a very firm respect and faith, and he offered whatever he had to Sukracharya. And also Sukracharya advises Bali like to perform Vishwajiteshna. That purpose was like to gain supremacy all over the world, and also Sukracharya's motive was okay. He can also progress in a better position, right? Obviously, he is guiding Bali Maharaj, so he will also gain the supreme position. So if Bali Maharaj is getting the higher position in that world, so they were performing Vishwadija Yajna, and so many wonderful things appeared from the Yajna, like the chariot covered with gold, then yellow horses, then arrows and bows, celestial armor. Then Sukracharya gave him a conch shell, and also the garland of flowers been gifted by Prahlad Maharaja. So all these things appeared while they performed the special ritualistic ceremony. And also after getting the chariot given by Sukracharya, Bali Maharaj heads on to Amaravati, Indra's kingdom. So there comes the description of Indra's kingdom, like no one who is sinful and who is not envious and who is not violent towards other living entities, or not cunning or not falsely proud, who is free from lust and greed, they can only enter Indra's kingdom. So it actually reveals what exactly the qualities and of Bali Maharaj. So he was full of virtue. So so he could enter that Indra's kingdom. So Indra sees Bali Maharaj coming with a new enthusiasm, and he was astonished to see the powers of Indra, Bali Maharaj. How come he could come up with a new enthusiasm? And like a few days back only, we defeated Bali Maharaj, and how could he gain the supreme power? So, so he approached his guru, who is Brihaspati, and asked about how Bali Maharaj gained this much power, and how could it be powerful. So he said, okay, I know the reason of renowned opulence of Bali Maharaj. So the Brahmana, the descendants of Brigumani, pleased with his devotion, and he pleased with by the service of Bali Maharaj. So they endowed him with special powers, right? So the blessings of great souls is a secret of success in Krishna consciousness. That is the first lesson we can learn from this pastime. So he is performing Eshna, and he was gaining all these powers and everything. But the main thing he has he has entered in his thing life is the blessings of the great soul. So being pleased with the service of Bali Maharaj, he was bestowed with the special powers. So by that power, he could attack, or he could conquer the kingdom of Indra. So we have also learned in our daily prayers, like we usually recite, Yasya prasado Bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasadana kudopi, Dhyayantu vam tasya Yasya Sri Sandhyam, Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam. So what really we need the mercy of the spiritual master, right? So unless we receive the mercy of the spiritual master, we can't get the mercy or the benediction from Krishna. So that is the main thing to progress spiritually. What exactly the grace of spiritual master, or the for advancing in the spiritual path, we need the mercy of spiritual master. So and also in Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, so in that also we are singing, like just to have that consciousness purified by the words emanating from the lotus mouth. So the attachment to the lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. So main thing is like we are seeking for the mercy of Guru Maharaj, or just to have the consciousness, pure consciousness, so that we can serve, and we can get out of this material thing, and we can get detached from this material aspects, and we can get attached to this lotus feet of Krishna. So and in one pastime, in Ramana pastime also, also, Hanuman, like he was not having, or he was not knowledgeable about his own powers, right? And once it's been reminded and been blessed by Jambavan, he go to know his forgotten powers, and later he gets up and starts shouting, and arrow has like he later conquered the like he could cross over the ocean, and he could say he could get Sita. So that was the thing, because arrow by its own does not have power, but being powered by the bow gets strengthened and it can go far distance. So that is our case. So unless it is our life is strengthened by the mercy of the spiritual master or the blessings of the great souls, we cannot get over or cross over this material ocean. So, and one of the pastime is like of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. So he was an ardent preacher, and one of his disciple approached him and asked, "Oh, Gurudeva, like you are like a Goshanandi, you are an ardent preacher, you are visiting, and you are visiting so many places, and you are giving Krishna consciousness to everyone. But your spiritual master, Gaurakishar Das Babaji, he is like very silent, and he used to reside in a secluded place. And what is like how come like you became the disciple of him, and what is the major difference, like how it is getting discriminated?" So he said like, whatever noise I am making, it is all because of my spiritual master's blessings. So without him, I am nothing. He said, it gives an example of engine and an battery. So engine makes a lot of noise, but unless the engine being powered by the battery, so he won't the engine won't be able to drive that thing, right? So likewise, the spiritual master is a driving force in our spiritual path. So obviously, unless it is strengthened, and unless it is that more force being given by the spiritual master, and ultimately the blessings of the spirit, Supreme Lord, we cannot drive over this material ocean. And also, here, by stating this statement, Indra is also Indra, the indirect hint given by Brihaspati to Indra. So Indra is too much attached to the sense gratification and opulence. So by this way also he has lost all his opulences in one or other way. So in Bhagavad Gita also a very nice sloka been given, Bhogeshwarya Prasaktanam Taya Prahrada Chedasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhir. So that consciousness won't be there. The consciousness, once whose consciousness, the mind is attached to the sense gratification and opulence, that the pure consciousness of serving Krishna won't be there. So it lowers down our spiritual aspect, so that one pointed attention will be missing. And Indra fails to get this hint given by Brihaspati, because he was attached to Bhoga and Aishwarya. And then Brihaspati advises Indra, because Bali Maharaj has come up with the supreme tejas, the Brahma tejas. So it is better you leave all this heavenly planet, and you can come, like you can just go to a secluded places or somewhere in disguise, and once everything calms down, you can just come back. So Bali Maharaj thus conquered the three worlds. And after that, the Brahmanas and his guru asked him to perform the Ashwamedha Yajna. So Indra also performs, right? Prithu Maharaj also performs, right? Yeah, Ashwamedha Yajna. So just to retain his position, so they are asking to perform the Ashwamedha sacrifice. So he's performing all these sacrifices, and gaining all the supreme powers, whatever he could can, just by the blessings of the great souls. Mamata Mataji, could you please read the paragraph which been displayed here? Hare Krishna. Okay. Himanshu Prabhuji, could you please read the paragraph, Prabhu?
Yes, Madhavi.
Hare Krishna.
Bali Maharaj and Indra were enemies. Therefore, when Brahaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, predicted that Bali Maharaj would be vanquished when he insulted the Brahmanas, by whose grace he had become so powerful, Bali Maharaj's enemies were naturally anxious to know when that opportune moment would come. To pacify King Indra, Brahaspati assured him that the time would certainly come, for Brahaspati could see that in future Bali Maharaj would defy the orders of Sukracharya in order to pacify Lord Vishnu, Vaman Deva. Of course, to advance in Krishna consciousness, one can take all risk. To please Vaman Deva, Bali Maharaj risk defying the orders of his spiritual master, Sukracharya. Because of this, he would lose all his property, yet because of the devotional service to the Lord, he would get more than he expected, and in the future, in the 8th Manvantara, he would occupy the throne of Indra again. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. So Brihaspati again pacified Indra, stating that all his powers of Bali Maharaj will be lost, because sometimes when given so much powers to us, we will tend to become arrogant, right? So we will lose that sense of reality. Even we tend to offend the person who was the source of that power itself. So by this way of Bali Maharaj opulence vanquished by offending or insulting the same Brahmana who has been blessed him with the powers. So that is a, main thing here. Like we will. Like whatever how that power came upon to us, like we should not forget, or we have to be ever grateful for that situation. But sometimes because of this material conditioning, we tend to forget whatever been blessed with us, the association or the experience whatever we gain. We tend to forget that, we tend to move on with this material path. So moving on to the next slide. And here then coming, like we are moving on to the next lesson. So here Aditi, the mother of demigods, she was very much aggrieved seeing the condition of her sons, approached Kashyap for help, and somehow she has to get out of her sons from this issue. So she approached Kashyap and she asked, like, what is the remedy for this, and how can I save my sons from this, the utter defeat of Bali Maharaj? So Kashyap asked her to worship Supreme Lord, because I am just a conventional husband and I cannot do more than anything. But the Supreme Purusha, who is the controller of everything and who is the maintainer of everything and who bestows a special mercy to the unalloyed devotees, he can help you out in this regard. So he gives that one pointed formula, and he gives that better approach. So he asked Aditi to perform Payovrata ceremony, and Aditi, all of a sudden, she followed the Payovrata ceremony and the instructions of the husband and guru without any laziness. So that should be the ideal thing of a disciple. So there are so many categories of disciples. The one category is like one who questions the order of the master, why I have to do, why, like whether I need to do this, like. So there will be so many queries. And the second one is like one who does whatever been told, okay, whatever the spiritual master says, without any second thought he will do as such. And the third one is like one who understands the intent of the spiritual master, and he does that, he doesn't cross question. So like he was that the first class quality, like Aditi, she didn't cross question whatever been told by Kashyap, and she was following the instructions, and she exemplified that quality of an ideal disciple. So that was a advice given by Kashyapa to Aditi. So it's also stated that whatever circumstances we are in, so we have to connect to the Krishna. That is the main solution for our problems, right? So that is the second lesson we are trying to grab from this pastime. So Aditi, though she was in distressed condition, she was like Kashyap asked her to connect with Krishna. So that is the main connection. That is the eternal connection, so that we won't get out, like we can get out of this material miseries or whatever we have been going on in this Dukalayam Ashashvatam world. and various references been given by acharyas like akama sarva kamova moksha kama udharati Divrena Bhakti Yokena Yajeda Purusha Param. So the person who has a broader intelligence, whether he is full of material desires, without any desires, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead. So it is not meant that only Hare Krishna devotees has to go to ISKCON temple or any temple and they have to worship. That is not like that. So we can approach Krishna in whatever condition we are in, right? So even it's been confirmed by in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. So obviously over a period of time we get out of this material miseries, and we will be freed of this material miseries by Lord bestows us with the unalloyed devotional service. So first we approach with the material things, later we get out of these material things, and we will be bestowed with the most and best mercy, that is the devotion, the bhakti. And in Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned, Chaturvida Bhajadebam, Jnana Sukritina Arjuna, Artho Jittasur Ardhati, Jnanasa Bharadarshapa. So four kinds of men, they will begin to render devotional service. First it is like distressed, then desirer of wealth, inquisitive, and who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. So here Aditi was in distressed condition. Eventually she will be freed and she will get to the unalloyed devotion by the Lord's special mercy. So because of Payavrata ceremony, Aditi performed by Aditi, Lord appeared as a dwarf Brahmana, and he dressed in yellow garments, bearing a conch shell, disc, club, and a lotus in four hands. So a Lord's appearance being explained here, and Aditi's symptoms. She felt ecstasy, and usual the standard procedure, the demigod showers flowers, and celestial beings showered flowers and offered prayers, music, drums. Then all these were happening, and they given gifts to this incarnation also. So after that, Lord said, okay, being pleased with Aditi's the Payavrata ceremony and the sacrifices, and also due to Kashyapa's austerities, he had agreed to become their son and also protect their other sons who are demigods and whose kingdom been conquered by Bali Maharaj. Okay, then moving on to next slide. So then Lord heads to sacrificial arena to show Bali Maharaj the full mercy. So when Lord was entering that sacrificial area, then like everyone felt as if like the sun, the effulgence of 1,000 rising suns, and started asking one another whether sun god or four Kumaras or the fire had personally come to see the sacrificial ceremony. So that much effulgence were emanating from this supreme dwarf Brahmana. So uh, that was by seeing that effulgence also, Bali Maharaj was not envious, and he was also very much jubilant, and he was actually relishing the beauty of Lord Vamana. So immediately he took the water pot and he immediately started washing the feet of Brahmana, and he reminded of the pastime of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva also carried the Ganga, which is nothing that is the water emanating from the toe of Vishnu, right? So that was carried by Shiva in his head. So likewise, he also washed the feet of Vamana, and he also placed water on his head. So just he was aware of all these religious practices and whatever been practiced by the elevated souls. He also following that their footsteps, being aware of these religious practices. And also once another pastime was of Gundija temple pastime. So we all know that in Gundija Mandir, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates was cleaning and washing of all these areas. And one devotee approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he asked, he just washed the feet of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he drank that Charanamrita. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much pleased, and though externally he couldn't exhibit that happiness, but internally he was very much pleased, and because of that the thing which been exhibited by his devotee. So whatever Beli Maharaj was also not envious, and he was by seeing the much more effulgent Vamana than his, because that supreme Tejas was something beyond our conception. So his Tejas superseded the Tejas of Bali Maharaj, and with so much grandeur, opulence, and aura. So he was coming up with that thing, but he was very much grateful. Bali Maharaj was very much grateful because that divine darshan of Lord, he was very much happy and pleased by the presence of Vamana Deva. So likewise, we will be moving on to the lesson 3, that the gratitude for little mercy, whatever we are getting in our life, if we are grateful for that little things, then obviously we will get more by the special mercy of Krishna or highly elevated souls. So we have to be thankful for whatever we have been blessed with. Okay, in personally, like in our condition, then obviously, like we will be every time we will be complaining, okay, I don't have that, or we will be comparing with others, and we will come up with one or other thing, like we are not thankful for what we are having, and we will be complaining of what we don't have, right? So what do you mean by gratitude? Gratitude means kritatnya, right? Kritatnyata. So to be aware of what others have done for us. So we, by association itself, we might have gained so much things, and we might have received so much mercy from others experience, and whatever others been bestowed with the us as a blessings also we might have gained. But due to our conditioning or the forgetful nature, we tend to forget the things what others have done for us, and we will not be in that like we won't show that gratitude to others, so we will be that in ingratitude mood. So because of that ingratitude, we will be losing whatever little we have acquired also. So the main the references which been given by acharyas are like Pandavas, when given a small tract of land also, that small tract of land called Kandaprasa, they converted that to like Indraprasa. But even the Kauravas given the whole city, but they were not satisfied with that, and they were actually envious, right, Duryodhana? So he was not satisfied with whatever he is having, and he was asking for, or he was having that greed. So he couldn't satisfy with that thing, and because of that, he couldn't fetch more. But Pandavas, because of their grateful attitude for that, later transformed into Indraprastha, and also because of their attitude of gratitude, eventually they could fetch more mercy of Krishna in their lives later. And also in Steve Jobs' speech at Stanford University, that is the most like he has given that speech, and it was like a very tearful video, and he was very it was very motivating also. And he said that it was not at all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friend's room. I returned Coke bottles for 5 cent deposits to buy food with, and I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. So because of this gratitude of attitude, so a big he could fetch more. He could cross over all the hurdles, and also he can come up with opulences in the later stage, right? So he was thrown away, or he was given away by his own mother, and also he was thrown out from his own company, and he admits that he didn't give up, and he was grateful for whatever little he has. So rather than complaining, we should be grateful for whatever we are having, so that Lord will fetch us more in our later lives. And also in one another pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and King Prataparudra, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was just introducing King Prataparudra to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reluctant to meet Prataparudra because he was dealing with all these economical things, and he was involved in the business dealings. So he was reluctant to meet the King Prataparudra, though Prataparudra was a very great devotee. But once Prataparudra's son dressed as Vaishnava, and he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by seeing the son of Prataparudra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt ecstasy, and he felt as if he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he embraced that son. So this Prataparudra was very much grateful, or he was very much grateful for that special mercy bestowed upon his son by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So likewise, so he didn't had any other things in his mind, and he was going on with his own task later. So after that, over a period of time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after this Radha Yatra, he was resting in Jagannath Vallabha gardens, and all of his associates, Prataparudra's associates, they encouraged him, like, you can just go and massage Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet, and he later went and he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he during that time only Prataparudra sings Gopi Gita. So being grateful for the little mercy showered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his son, later he got the special mercy of having the divine darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also he could massage the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the special thing. So if we are if we are grateful for small things we receive, so it is must assured that more things are on the way by the special mercy of Krishna. So then Bali Maharaj is opening the doors to Vamana Deva to ask anything. So he is asking whatever you want, you can take from me. Like he is asking he's asking Vamana Deva, you can just take from me a cow, gold, a furnished house, or a food or drink, or a daughter of a Brahmana as a for your wife, or prosperous village, horses, elephants. So many various options been given or put forward by Veli Maharaj to Vamana Deva. So Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared as Vamana Deva, being pleased with Bali's charitable attitude, and spoke in terms of religious principles. So he praised Bali Maharaj charitable quality, because even Hiranyakashipu was very charitable, and also his father, Bali Maharaj's father Virochana, he was also very much charitable, and although he knew very well that it was demigods who came and dressed in the form of Brahmanas, at their request, he delivered all of his duration of his life to them. And also Prahlad Maharaj, we know, like, how like no one in their kingdom has refused charity to the Brahmana. So whatever they have, they are like, they are known for this charitable attitude. So Supreme Personality of Godhead was uh, praising that quality of Bali Maharaj, and he also put forward the main thing, as he only Vamana Deva only wanted only 3 paces of land, though Bali Maharaj was very much eager to give whatever he wanted, but he was asking for 3 paces of land. But in inner motive was like he can conquer all these three worlds, but explicitly he was asking only for the 3 paces of land. So moving to the next slide. Um So Vamana stresses on the point that also he is generous and able to give as much as land I want, but I don't want anything that is unnecessary. So as a learned man, like if he is asking or seeking for more and more properties or charity from others, so then obviously he will be entangled in this material thing, right? So we will tend to commit more sinful activities. So Radhanath Swami also one time he had said, like for a person he needs only three things. One is association, and the other one is prasadam, and the other one is the say some place to rest. So that is the need of the devotee. So we are hankering for more and more and more. And over a period of time, this hankering itself, like after bestowing with that possessions, later we will lament for that possessions if it is being lost. So hankering lamentation, so it will be a cycle. We will be going through this cycle because we are situated in this material world. So first one is association, then prashadam, and some place to rest. So the same information or the same thing has been passed on by Vamana to Bali Maharaj. So that is also an indirect thing, like indirect instruction given to Bali Maharaj, that you are over accumulating the stuff, whatever more than necessary you are over accumulating. So that should be avoided. So Bali Maharaj, then in reply to Vamana, he is saying like, you are an ordinary child, you are not knowing your self-interest, and your words seem to be very learned, but you are not aware of the real need. So likewise, he was counteracting Vamana Deva. But Vamanadeva is saying, like, even if you're giving so much or whatever you are accumulated with to the person, but if his senses are not controlled, then we won't be able to satisfy him, right? So that is taking us to the lesson 4. Nothing can satisfy one who is not self-controlled. So if our senses are controlled, and if we are dovetailing our senses to the devotional service, then obviously we can get out of this material world, and we can satisfy our own desires. Otherwise, like if that how come these desires are popping up, as it is stated in the second chapter, the ayado vishayan pumsam, right? The by sense objects will be contemplating on the sense objects, then later it will give attachment, then lust develops, then if it is not fulfilled, anger, and if it is fulfilled, then greed. So likewise it is a cycle. Then obviously the intelligence will be a delusion. It will put us into delusion, then bewilderment of memory, intelligence will be lost, then we will fall down. So likewise we are also like if we are contemplating our sense objects on the senses which can be utilized on that a devotional service, then that will take us or deviate us from the path of this self-satisfying to satisfying Krishna, rather than satisfying ourselves. So we think that okay, it is like a fire extinguisher. So being in this world, we think okay, we can satisfy our desires, and it will extinguish our desire. But actually, it is increasing our desire. If it is in that fire extinguisher vessel, like it actually it will have that agent which puts off that fire, right? So instead of that agent which puts off fire, if the fire extinguisher is having the petrol or any other fuel, if we are pouring it on to the fire, then obviously it will increase the quantity of the fire, right? So obviously being in this material world, we think that okay, we are getting out of this desire attitude, but actually it will not extinguish the fire, but it will increase that quantity of the desire in our minds. So because the mind will be fully thinking of how to satisfy, it will plan, the intelligence also will plan how we can satisfy the desire, and the mind will also instill the thoughts, okay, we can see it in that perspective. So Rupa Goswami has given a very nice sloka in Nectar of Instruction. Atihara prayasya prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya laulyamsa sadbir bhaktir vinashyati. Okay. So over entering or over accumulating. So that is a one thing which hinder the spiritual progress. So though we have heard about so many times, but like we have gone through all these things so many times, right? But still we have the mindset, whatever we have seems to be not sufficient. So these are like these are one of the things like we should get over, and by overcoming this we will be able to concentrate on Krishna. So we have to satisfied with whatever one achieves by his previous destiny. So rather than overhangering, so we should be satisfied with whatever been bestowed by Krishna by just by our karma, and already it's been predestined. So moving on to the next slide. Uh, Indi, Patani, wait. Uh, oh, mobile, I will get. So Balimaraj also got convinced with the reasons of Vamana Deva. So he is asking to confirm his promise, like Vamana, the desired land. He took up his water pot and he was about to offer everything to the Lord. So by that, Sukracharya again interrupts, and he's saying like, okay, you don't know what mistake you are committing now, and you're not understanding the Lord Vamana Dev's motive, because he has come upon here to fulfill the desire of or the promise of Aditi, promise which been given to Aditi. Um, and he has come up in the form of Brahmana, like he is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he has come up to take away all your land, wealth, beauty, power, education, everything. So as we have read in the purport also, he who takes away, Hari means he who takes away. So he is taking only the material things which are hindering our progress to the spiritual life, right? So initially we also will feel very down, because of like if we are losing everything, or the material possessions, the reputation, education, or beauty. So Lord is putting us in this level just to seek the supreme shelter. Otherwise we will be over attached to all these possessions, reputations, education, and beauty, and we will forget to remember the eternal, the supreme Lord. This was the like he Sukracharya put forward all these arguments to Bali Maharaj, but even he was thinking for some time, and he later he has the option, even though the warning been given by Sukracharya, Bali Maharaj has the option whether to obey or disobey the order of his spiritual master, because he can make special choices, because he was living by that strong values. So the strong values, surely the strong values help him to take the better decision. So he was, since he was living by that values, it provides a strong foundation to build the skyscraper of devotion. So Bali Maharaj was Vamana Deva, Bali Maharaj was convinced with Vamana Deva's asking for the three lands, and Vamana Deva will first occupy the three worlds in one step, and then again he will take the second step, and he will occupy the outer space, and then there is no space for him to offer for Vamana Deva for the third step. So he is like a Sukracharya again. He is saying like, on who is in knowledge should divide his accumulated wealth in 5 parts. One is for religion, one is for reputation, and the other one is for opulence, and the fourth one is for sense gratification, and for the maintenance of family members also. In Rupa Goswami's pastime also, we have he had taught us by his own example, like 50% of this accumulated wealth for Krishna. Then 25, the rest 50% he divided into 25% for himself and 25% for his family members. So by this way, we are able to like include all other things also. So that is the shastric thing. But Bali Maharaj was he was completely keen on what Vamana was asking, and he was not able to listen, or he was not giving that attention to Sukracharya, because he was more concerned about Vamana Deva. So he given the first step. First step, he will occupy the worlds in one step, and the second step, everything outer space he will cover, and the third step he will give himself, because Garuda can sense that Bali is incapable of fulfilling his own promise. So Bali like not feeling humiliated, but instead of that he say that, okay, only this life is left, you can just take over this life, because I am falsely identified as my body or my opulence or my power, everything been identified because of this false pride. So you can just put that third step upon me. So like this he will surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead with his uninterrupted, unmotivated surrender. By surrendering everything to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is losing he is not losing anything, but externally he appears to be defeated, but ultimately he emerges as victorious. So victory or defeat being in the platform of material thing, then obviously like we feel, okay, he has lost all his opulences, power, beauty, reputation, everything. But true, he has gained, Bali Maharaj has gained a true victory when one is actually under the shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Bali Maharaj, here it's been clearly mentioned, although bereft of his riches, fallen from his original position, defeated and arrested by his enemies, rebuked and deserted by his relatives and friends, although suffering the pain of being bound, and although rebuked and cursed by his spiritual master, because when he was not in a position to listen to his spiritual master Sukracharya um, cursed him that he will go down and he will go into the hellish planets and he will live there. So Bali Maharaj was not like he was not shaken by these words of spiritual master. He was fixed in his vow, and he did not give up his truthfulness also. And he was like whatever he was doing in line with religious principles, and he didn't give up that too. And he was fixed in his promise, he was very much determined, and he was not he was very much afraid to cheat brahmanas, because he was not afraid of death, or his fall down, or his poverty, or going to hell. He was not afraid of all these aspects, but he was afraid of cheating brahmana. So that's the reason he offered himself in the third step. And also he was later giving the detailing of how previous acharyas, previous personalities like Dadiji or Sibi Maharaj, they sacrificed everything just for the sake or the welfare of others. So likewise, he would follow the previous great personalities' footsteps, and he should work for the welfare of brahmanas. And also he is known for his good deeds. Because of his good deeds, good deeds of any person, it will be remembered, it like that makes him remembered after death. So example, uh, even in Shastras, they recommend how a good deed should be performed by one. So it will be remembered by everyone after their death. And also, he was very much, Beli Maharaj was not able to give up, even though he was having or possessing all these good qualities or virtue qualities, and he was not having that quality of detachment. So slowly he want to give up that detachment from this material possession also. So giving up wealth is more difficult than giving up body itself for Bali Maharaj. So he wanted to practice that detachment. So he offered whatever he had to Vamana Deva. And also he had that spiritual knowledge, because he was doing everything in line with Shastras. So he was gained all this knowledge from great acharyas. So Guru was saying, Vishnu is on other side, and he has come to fetch all your opulences and all these wealth from you. So on the other side, he is saying, like, you just because he is saying, like, one side he is saying you just surrender to Krishna, and the other side he is saying, yeah, you just restrain from giving all these stuffs to Vishnu. So because of this contradictory statement, the Guru has lost his position, because if he is engaged in the abominable activities and he has lost his sense of discrimination, then obviously that Guru is not bona fide. He is rejecting Shukracharya's proposal, and he is giving Vamana Deva 3 steps to occupy all whatever he has accumulated all over the period. Because of this great tolerance level and all this determination and the attitude, that spiritual attitude, Vamana Deva bestowed him with a special mercy that he will acquire the position of king of heaven. He shall live on the planet of Sutala, which was made by Vishwakarma. So it will be free of mental and bodily miseries, fatigue and dizziness, and by this way, like, you will be freed of all these miseries, and you will live peacefully. So because these Sutala planet is being desired by even demigods. So he is Supreme Lord is giving the all mercy, like, he will be always with you, like, I will be always with you, and give you the protection in all respects, along with our associates and paraphernalia. And moreover, you will always be able to see me there. So as a doorkeeper, he will be giving, and he is bestowing the special mercy to Bali Maharaj. uh, so by this way, we have discussed about the factors that influenced Bali's decision also. First one is promise, then second one is truthful. Like, he is coming in the dynasty of Prahlad Maharaja. So Prahlad Maharaja is known for keeping his promise, right? So he cannot be not truthful, and he is afraid to cheat brahmanas, then good deeds, detachment, spiritual knowledge. So because of all these factors, he could build up his values very strongly, and that helped him to achieve or provide or make the right decision in his life. And that is the main thing. But like, if we are externally going through so many steps and just showing off, I am doing this one and I am doing that one, but inside, like, you are envious or greedy, or you are not satisfied, or you are over accumulating or over enduring for what you are not capable of, then obviously you will be falling down from your position. So foundation should be very strong, then only you can build up that skyscraper of devotion. So that bhakti can be built just by the values we live upon. By living upon the values which we are getting by the association or the experience or the blessings from the great souls, that actually elevates us from this fallen condition to the higher level. So thus we have come to the end of this thing, and I will just go through that key takeaways. So the first one we discussed about blessings of great souls. That is a secret of success. When Bali Maharaj has been blessed by the special powers by the great souls of Ramanas who comes in the dynasty of Brigu Maharaj. And in continuing the pastime, when Aditi approached Kashyapa, he is asking Aditi to, in order to solve all your problems, you have to connect it with Krishna, who is the supreme Purusha, and that is a one-pointed formula, and that is the best approach. And the third thing, when Bali Maharaj sees the super effulgent Vamana Deva, he is grateful and pleased with the divine darshan of Vamana Deva. But since he is having that gratitude for such a small thing, Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj has been bestowed with the special and great blessings of Supreme Lord later. And we have seen that examples of Pandavas, how they converted Indra Kanda Prasad to even a small piece of land that made them satisfied and grateful. But on the other side, Kauravas were not in that satisfying position. Then coming to the fourth lesson, nothing can satisfy it, because whenever Bali Maharaj was asking Vamana Deva to take on or ask whatever he want, but he was giving the several reasons, like learned man, he takes whatever it is necessary as a charity also, and so that he won't get entangled in this sinful life. And also if we are our senses are not controlled, and we are not satisfied with what we have, and we are over accumulating or over endeavoring for the things, then obviously we will get into this birth and death cycle. So we should be satisfied with whatever we want to achieve by previous destiny. So, and the last thing was like a strong values, how strong values strongly help us to make right decisions. So that is a base of our, or the a foundation of our bhakti. And also the qualities of Bali Maharaj. So how he was having the strong desire, or he was having that attachment. Okay, whatever he is possessing, he was just giving away, because he wanted to please Krishna rather than his own senses. And also the steadiness in devotion, he wanted to remember and serve the Supreme Lord, even whenever his spiritual master was denying him in offering the land to the Supreme Lord. But he defied the orders, and later he suffered, but with the materially he suffered, but spiritually he was getting the special mercy by devotional service. And even if the Lord reciprocates with delay, or even if takes away all these possessions, or reciprocates us with reversals in our life also, like we should have that ability to tolerate that one, and to go on with the more devotion, so and more love, so without any cross questions, because he knows what we are capable of, or what based on our karma, our things, whatever we did in our previous life. So even we have come up with so many reversals in our life, or reciprocates with like sometimes we won't be able to take up, right? So sometimes we feel, okay, why we have to go through all this, like personally I have felt, because for past a few days I have been going through so much of emotional turbulence. But I could cross over all these things because just remembering Krishna, why I have to go through all these stuffs. But we just have to tolerate. That is the only thing, because our previous karma is so much that Lord is just giving the opportunity just to purify ourselves, and where just we can move on with our own thing later in our life. And also we can take one more thing in this a lesson from this pastime, like even if you have become an insect in next life, or like um, uh, just we need to have the association of the devotees. That should be the only thing we have to aspire for. So we have to have that sadhu sangha, because if we are in that association, or if we are in the association of high class Vaishnavas, then obviously we will be able to just purify, as it is stated in Sishtastakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Pavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam, Sreyo Kairava Chandrika Vidaranam, Vidyavadu Jivanam. So that kind of purification happens only with the association and with the faith, and also by chanting the Nama, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and also having the faith in Krishna, that because whomsoever has just leave us and go away, but Krishna won't give us, even if we feel that he is leaving us and going away, but one day he will come and pick us up from this material ocean, and he will give his hand, and he will just pull us from this material ocean to the spiritual Goloka. So that should be our motive. So these are all qualities of the surrender devotee. So we should have that consistency in bhakti. So we should be very steady in our service to Krishna. So with this, I would like to conclude my session. And also, if I have committed any offense, and also due to my ignorance, I have just repeated or given any irrelevant references also. So just ignore my ignorance, and forgive my ignorance. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Danut Pranam Madhavi. Thank you for an excellent class. Yeah, it is. You have concluded the class in very good manner. That without association of a devotee, one cannot progress in bhakti. Yes, Madhaji. In your case also, you could overcome the situation. Since Prabhu was with you, you have a wonderful devotee who has supported you, and you could recover. Thank you very much for sharing that, Mataji. Now I would request our devotees to come forward and discuss. Himanshu Prabhuji, can I request you, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu, I took over your seva, Prabhu.
No, my sincere apologies, Prabhuji, to you and to Mataji. I did not pay attention to the roster and I missed out. And in fact, I had to be reminded by Vasant Prabhuji. That's why I joined late. So thank you so much and apologies again. So Ita Mataji, this is a fantastic class. And you used very effectively every possible minute to, communicate the message. And you included so many references, so many short stories, and then concluded with the takeaways which are most important for us. And for a materialist like me, I can very easily understand that how much less gratitude I show. And I do understand the importance of the association, and also that this so many references and stories that tell that how Lord is actually bestowing mercy when he takes away certain other things which are not so important, but we perceive them as important to us in life. So it is only for us to understand and make our life better on the right path. So thank you so much, Mataji, for helping us. You put in so much effort, so many references. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Dhanavad Pranam.
Thank you so much for your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing your feedback. And can I request Swastik Prabhuji for giving his feedback? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhu.
Sorry, I'm coming late. I try 7 o'clock link anapulaanga sister.
Sorry, Prabhu. I'm myself.
I thought the class is a home class. That's the reason I understand. Just now I saw the 10 minutes before I saw. After only link is there. Madhavi, that is the reason I connect. At least Sadhu Sangha I need. Because of Sadhu Sangha, Madhavi is explained very nicely. Sadhu Sangha. That one I get the last point also. I attend that one. Thank you for the opportunity, Madhaji. Very nice explanation. That I like that one. Very Sadhu Sangha is the very main important for bhakti.
Hare Krishna.
So one more that story is Mother says I don't know. Mother is சொன்னாங்களே Narada Muni and Bhagwan, they are both both बात कर रहा था कैसा ये सारी English the fluent night coming so it's not Hindi at
No problem.
Okay, Narada Muni and Vishnu, they are talking. Narada Muni asking what is the Sadhu Sangha benefit? Vaishnava Sadhu Sangha and what is the Sadhu Sangha? बोला था इसलिए उस टाइम भगवान ने बोला था साधु संघ उन्होंने बोला एक दूर से दिखाया नारद को दिखाया वो जो एक छोटा सा कीड़ा था बटरफ्लाई का एक वाम था वो उसका बोला था वो जाके उनसे जाके पूछो क्या साधु संघ क्या मतलब क्या उनको जाके पूछो बोला तभी उन्होंने जाके वाम से पूछ रहा था पूछने के लिए उधर पूछा था तुरंत वो मर गया तुरंत देहांत तोड़ दिया नारद जी का दुखी लगा क्या करूं बोल के वापस भगवान के पास आके पूछा क्या हो गया नहीं डोंट वरी दूसरा जगह पे दिखाऊं बोल के उन्होंने एक बछड़ा का गाय का बच्चा था उनका पास जाने के लिए बोल रहा था उनका पास जाओ तो उधर जाके गाय का बछड़ा का ऐसे दिख रहा था उनसे बस पूछ रहा है साधु संघ मतलब कैसा है तुरंत वो ने वैष्णव संघ कैसा होता है बोल के उनका पूछना था तुरंत क्या होगा वो भी तुरंत देख छोड़ देते और नारद मुनि को बहुत दुखी लगा क्या वहां के पास उधर भी ऐसा हो गया कीड़ा का पास गया वो भी ऐसा किया बछड़े के पास गया वो भी मेरा ऐसे वो भी उसका भी देगंद हो गया क्या करूं मैं सोच के वापस कह रहा था भगवान बोला नहीं थोड़ा जाओ दूर से जाके और एक राजा का बेटा हुआ तो उनके जाके मिलो बोला उधर जाके वो बच्चा देखा उधर भी अच्छा हो गया उनके जाके मिलो उसको बोला नारद जी का डाउट था वो जाके होगा तो वो भी उसका भी ऐसा कभी हो गया तो क्या करूं ऐसा सोच के उनके मन में दुखी आ रहा था थोड़ा सोच के जाना नहीं जना भगवान का वाक्य छोड़ नहीं सकता इसलिए भगवान फिर जाके उनका जाके मिल रहा था साधु संघ का मतलब क्या है तभी उन्होंने बोला था उनका डर था कुछ नहीं तुरंत वो भी जगह छोड़ देते क्या करूं सोच के तभी उन्होंने बोला मैं साधु संघ का मतलब क्या है कैसा होता है आप सुबह मेरे को बस मिला था मैं एक कीड़ा था आपको संघ से मेरे को दूसरा जन्म दिव्य को गाय के बछड़ा बना दिव्य गाय के बछड़ा बना आपको संघ से आज अभी शाम को मनुष्य का रूप मिला यही साधु संघ का मतलब बोला तभी इसलिए साधु संघ इतना मूल्यता है भक्त संघ में कुछ भी बदल सकता है इसलिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है भक्त संघ के बिना कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता वही इम्पोर्टेंट है थैंक यू महाराज जी
Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna.
Hare
Sorry,
Krishna.
Prabhu. I delayed myself in sharing the link very late. Sorry, Prabhu.
நான் பார்த்தேன் 7 மணிக்கு பார்த்தேன் ட்ரை பண்ணேன் சரி இல்ல சரி 7:30 பார்த்தா 7:44 அப்புறம் அனுப்பிருக்கு
No
கவனிக்கல
problem. Thank you, sir. Hare Krishna. Mamta Mataji, can I request you to share your feedback?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu, for highlighting about Sadhu Sangha. It was wonderful, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, I will start for Pita Mataji. Did you do the bhajan? Because I was timely available. I don't know, but I was having some glitch in my internet, then I restarted. So I somehow missed your this one bhajan, Prabhu. So I'm so sorry because I was rebooting my this one internet. So I will directly go for Prita Mataji only. Mataji, as usual, all fully loaded with information, knowledge, gyan. Most importantly, the realization in each one of line. We could see, we could feel the realization. Will with all bhava, with all great bhava, you have prepared the class. So Mataji, yeah, for me it was all informative, full of knowledge, with great realizations. This is very important, Mataji. Yes, what we have, I mean, the line which you mentioned, what we have, we never pay our gratitude, but what we do not have, we always anchor upon that. No matter, even after getting that, what sufferings we will be having, we don't think about that. And you nicely said, Mataji, if we do not have something, that is also because Krishna knows probably we are not capable to handle. This is very important, Mataji, because if probably the what we say is the orange juice is good for you, but maybe for my body orange juice may create the reaction. So Krishna knows who and what is capable for. So I think we should keep remind ourselves before hankering for anything that everything is not meant for us. And if we are in the shelter of Lord, He knows what is best for us, and He will arrange for sure. So this is out of my experience, this is out of my realization. But yes, thank you for reminding, Mataji, because this is very, very important for reminding ourselves and keeping, keep washing ourselves. Like Raghuveer Prabhu always say, we all are tambe ka lota, we are all made out of copper. So isko roj ragadna padta hai. You have to clean it every day, then only it will shine. So Nityam Bhagavata Seva is very, very important, Mataji. And I'm thankful for the association. As Prabhuji said, yes, this association only can lead us on the path of devotion, and the other things will work together if you are in the right association. So once again, thank you. And sorry, Venkat Prabhu, because my internet, I think, was having a problem. I don't know. I skipped your bhajan. And thank you, Prabhuji, for making a mark on Sadhu Sangha. Yes, it's very, very important. Without this, uh, we can't do anything. Probably we will not be able to even remember the Lord. So yeah, these are all very important factor. And thank you for reminding to each other. Thank you, Mataji. My sincere Dandavat.
Thank you, Madhavi. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhaji. You are escaped today from hearing my kirtan. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Can I request Vasant Madhav Prabhu to share his valuable feedback?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dandavata Pranam. Very nice way of starting this weekend, Prabhu. Amazing.
Sorry, I cannot hear.
Yes, Prabhuji. We too could not hear Prabhuji. I think
Okay.
English. Hare Krishna. Vasant Prabhu, we could not hear you, Prabhu, from the beginning. I think he has some internet issue. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, we could not hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah, actually, I don't see. Maybe he's rejoining. So,
Okay.
I think Vasant Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, now we could hear you, Prabhu. You can start, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, I don't know what happened really, like it got rebooted.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Prabhu, like for wonderfully starting our weekend, amazing Kirtan. Because you sung from your heart, so nice to realize that. And Pritisvarupini, Madhavi, Devi, Dasi, amazing lecture. Like as we all seems to think about, okay, Bali Maharaj, we heard this past time quite often, but what is a new thing to learn in this particular thing? Because she was hearing some lectures, and amazingly, like the 5 points been covered. So I have like some of the key points to mention. One is Lord ending the Bhagavad Gita with a very special note, like a Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksheshami Masuchaga. So in that particular mood and in that particular characteristics, like okay, Bali Maharaj completely surrenders, correct? He didn't care about anything, like he didn't care about his wealth, his the spiritual master, like trying to defy him, but like he's not ready to listen his statement, because like he is completely surrendering. So if we get to remind of like, okay, Bali Maharaj in each and every day, then we can be the eternal servant of the Lord. Because like because Bali surrendered that one moment, okay, it was just a flickering of a moment. So Lord is like serving his kingdom as a gatekeeper, like forever. So have that particular attitude, like we will try to serve, we will try to surrender to Lord, irrespective of like whatever the situation is. That is a very key thing to note, because like this is a great example, correct? Someone will say like how we can trust that like a Lord is saying Sarvadharman Paritejya Mamekam Saranam Braja. How we can have that trust, like a Bali Maharaj is one such example. That is a reason, like for Atma Nivedanam, like okay, he's the topmost devotee, like because he surrenders. That is one thing. So second thing is like why Lord covered all the things like with 2 feet, 2 steps. Like the third step, he wanted Bali to let him know like what where he can keep the foot. So Bali is saying, Lord, good, like you taken all from me, but you didn't take me. So that is the main reason, like he kept he offered himself Atma Nivedanam, like okay, so he taken everything from him. That ahankar was there, like okay, I am the Bali, the false pride. Then he was requesting, Lord, you taken everything from me, but you didn't take me. So that realization, like was the reason for that third step. The other thing is like a very nicely explained what is the, because we all in the stressful life, correct? Like there is one nice statement. What is the thing is like what is the stress, why we are into the stressful life? We all know like it is all due to the lusty desire, like because if desire get fulfilled, then it becomes the what a greed. If desire is not getting fulfilled, like and then it becomes like we gets angry, correct? Like the stress, the main purpose of stress is like the gap between expectation and reality. So what is our expectation, like if we tend to bring the capability of okay, this is not designed for me, Lord is not authorizing for me to get this particular thing. If we have that reality, then our expectation can be minimized. If our expectation can be minimized, then the gap between expectation and reality can be minimized. By having that particular character of the life, we can we can be like a stress free, and we can always be in the mood of like, okay, association with the Lord and his devotees. So that was like a nice thing to note. So always like I have less expectation, so that like, okay, the gap between the reality and expectation can be minimized. By having that minimized, like, okay, we can lead a very grateful grateful like a devotional life, as well as like a the personal life. So with this, like I just would like to conclude, Prabhu. Thanks a lot for the great association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing your feedback, and thank you for your association also. With your association and things, we could be in this Mangala today. And I need to thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me this service opportunity of Prabhuji, Mataji, coming back to your class, yeah, it was very excellent, Mataji. I would like to share also a few things. Yeah, we need, yeah, we can see here that Bali Maharaj, he is not even devotee, and Lord's mercy, we need to feel the mercy of the Lord. He has awarded him such a great position that he is going to be a second, that is Indra also, and he is guarding him till that time. He is guarding him also. So that much merciful Lord is. Our only desire to surrender to Lord. Even though he has not here to his guru, and he has offered him. He came forward to offer Lord the 3 foot of land. Hare Krishna. Even though he has offended his guru, Lord has given him a great position, and it is a great lesson for us that we need to, our motive, our desire to serve Lord at any circumstances, even though it is a lost position, last point of our life, or at very troublesome position also. We should not forget serving the Lord. And even we can feel here that Lord comes forward, and even the from the meaning of sloka's meaning also say that Hari means taking away the material positions. So we need to pray to Lord Hari, who let him take our material position and give us bhakti. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thanks you, Lord Mataji. But one thing I had one small doubt, that what was the contradiction statement from Sukracharya? What made Bali to disqualify him as a uh, as his guru? So if you can spotlight on this, it will be very thankful, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I missed that point. It was a little bit faster. I could not follow you, Mataji. Sorry. Or even Vasant Prabhu, anybody can.
Yeah. Yeah, Prabhuji, he was giving, because he got to know that Vamana appeared as, Vamana comes in the form of, like a Lord comes in the form of Vamana. He is going to take all the possessions, whatever being possessed by Bali Maharaj. So he advised Bali Maharaj not to fulfill the promise of giving 3 pieces of land, whatever been asked by Vamana Deva, because he will lose everything, because he won't be able to fulfill, because within these 2 steps itself, like he would cover the entire world, but what you will offer in the 3rd step. So that was his Sukracharya's thing. And also he wants him, like he has appeared in order to fulfill the interest of the demigods. So that promise is not good for Bali Maharaj, and it will bring harm to the demoniac family, because that war is happening between the demons and the demigods, right? So he is giving the warning, to Bali Maharaj, whatever you are possessing will be taken away by Lord. But Bali Maharaj's only motive was he has to please Lord Vamana, even though Sukracharya was restricting him from not giving or fulfilling the promise, but he was very much keen on fulfilling the promise which been given to Vamana Deva. Because he comes in the dynasty of Prahlad Maharaj, and he will be truthful to the words, and he won't change words according to their own circumstances.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam, Mataji. Thank you for your excellent class. Thank you all for coming to this Mangala Arati. We can stop recording and we can move on to taking darshans. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.